Welcome to the Sonny Chung podcast. Today it's a pleasure and honor to have Mr. Cameron Herold to be our guest today. He's also known as a CEO Swissery. He have helped scale 100 company around the world. He's also a founder of COO Alliance and Invest in Your Leader, and was a former COO of 1-800-GOT-JUNK, where he helped grow the company from $2 million to over $100 million just 6 years. He's also an author of several bestseller books, include one of my favorite, Vivid Vision, The Second in Command, and the host of Second in Command podcast. Cameron, it's an honor to be here with you. And if I miss anything out, please give me maybe 30 seconds and introduce yourself that I missed something.
No, that sounds good, Sonny. I appreciate it.
So it's just, I have a few questions for my knowledge and for my audience who I have about you, and hopefully we can add some value to people who listen to this. You talk to 1,000 of leaders. When you sit across from someone, what do you notice first? What tell you immediately if that person have a take or not?
If they have a which?
If they have a ticket to be successful or not.
Yeah. The first off is just their complete ability to focus on, almost in a maniacal way, the vision that they're going after. That tends to come across quite quickly. Second is really their attitude towards people and towards customers and towards the product, and just that obsession to care about their people and to care about their customers. And then I think the third is probably just the overall get it factor of the industry and the product and business in general. You know, one of the reasons that so many businesses fail is just their inability to understand the numbers, their inability to understand the basic P&L, the basic numbers and the way a business scales. So you can kind of get that pretty quickly too.
Interesting. So they get to know the numbers, so that's why the CEO Alliance come to in place. So is that what inspired you to create the COO Alliance? And how does it help second in command leaders succeed?
Yeah, the COO Alliance we created 9 years ago because we noticed a real gap in the market. There were a lot of groups for entrepreneurs to go and learn from each other and with each other, true mastermind communities for entrepreneurs, right? We had EO, we had YPO, we had Vistage, Genius Network, and Baby Bathwater and Maverick. And there were so many groups of entrepreneurs, but there were groups for marketers and engineers and lawyers, but there was really no strong community for the second in command to grow their skills, to grow their confidence, and to grow their connections. So that was the reason for starting the COO Alliance, was to create a mastermind community for that COO, the second in command to the CEO.
I love that, because I do believe every CEO need a COO to help them on it. So a lot of CEO is more idealist and how they try to find someone to help them with it. And most of them, they get stuck. They work hard, but they still feel stuck on it. What do you think they're missing in their business?
Well, what do I think they're missing? Well, sometimes it's people, right? Sometimes it's just not having the actual right people in the right seats. So that tends to be a block for a lot of entrepreneurs when they're getting started. The second thing I think would just be the right vision and having everyone completely aligned with the vision and where they're going, so that you can have all the right people in your company, but if they're not aligned and they're not all going in that same direction, then you're never going to be able to scale anything. And I think the last one is just the inability to delegate, the inability to grow people, the inability to get results through others, right? At the end of the day, the entrepreneur's job is to surround themselves with great people who can make their vision come true.
That's great. So because of it, they need to have someone to support their vision to come to life. So as your role as a mentor and a speaker influence your own personal growth and leadership, how is your role as a mentor that affect your personal growth and leadership when you talk to somebody?
Well, I tend to fall into that mentoring role quite often, right? In the last 19 years, I've been coaching entrepreneurs all over the world. So I tend to slip back into that mentoring and advisor role for them quite easily. I've been coaching entrepreneurs for almost 30 years. So I think at the end of the day, that just tends to be the default position that I end up in with companies.
I think it's a great default. I think you train good people, you help people succeed with the entrepreneurs. They want to get out their comfort zone and grow, and then try to find a good people to work with. That leads me to the next question that I would like to know about you. What's your next big goal and mission, and how you are preparing for it?
Well, we're really focusing on scaling the COO Alliance. That's the core of what we're doing. We have members right now from 17 countries. So really continuing to focus on bringing great second in commands into the organization. Really pushing to get my book, The Second in Command, out into the hands of thousands of COOs. We've just noticed that everyone who reads the book ends up joining the COO Alliance. So really pushing the gas on that. And then also growing the Second in Command podcast. We've now interviewed 540 COOs of companies from all over the world. So again, that has turned out to be great lead gen, and has really done a good job with getting more and more great COOs into the organization.
So have this thought of you have about trying to push this CEO Alliance to the next level, is that idea changed over time, or do you have this picture to create that in your journey when you work on with the CEO?
I've always had it as part of the vision for what we were creating, for sure. I mean, right from the very beginning, the core was to create a global organization, to really put the skills and the processes in place to help companies scale and to help COOs scale. So that's always been there right from the very beginning, was to build that global organization.
Oh wow, that is that why you can, why you put a program together, which I actually learned from you on Invest in Your Leader. Can you explain how does Invest in Your Leader help the company grow and find the right people to?
Yeah, when I was running my first company, I got involved in a franchise organization, and they trained the franchisees on some very core leadership skills so that we could actually scale our companies and get results through people. And those core leadership skills became things that I used over the years to scale all the businesses that I was helping to grow. So 3 years ago, I decided to package those skills up into a course so that other leaders, other CEOs, other COOs, other VPs and directors could all take that same content and then be able to build their companies in a much more efficient way. So that was the content that I created, was the Invest in Your Leaders course.
I like that.
The course is really a self-guided set of 12 core modules that anyone managing people needs to be really good at. So it's stuff around interviewing, hiring, onboarding of people, situational leadership, coaching, delegation, managing projects, handling, classroom training, running meetings. It's all the soft skills that, for the reality, most people never get any training in.
Yeah, a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't have a proper training, and because of it, they couldn't find the right people to work with. And when I saw your work and I followed your work, the first book is The Vivid Vision. It's helped me tremendously. I want to circle back on this point. When you wrote your book on Vivid Vision, did you do this to give you a guideline for your future self, or it's kind of a way for you to guide you to where you want to go?
Yeah, the book Vivid Vision was really there originally for me to help codify how we scaled 1-800-GOT-JUNK, which was a system of getting all of our employees, customers, franchisees, our suppliers, everyone on the same page so that everyone could see what the CEO could see. And then we just knew that if everyone was aligned and everyone was pulling in that same direction, then it would be just much easier. So that was the reason for doing it. And then I started being paid to speak to groups of entrepreneurs. I've now been paid to speak in over 30 countries to groups of entrepreneurs over the last 19 years. And they wanted to learn about that vivid vision concept. So the idea with a vivid vision is it becomes a 4 or 5 page description of what your company looks like, acts like, and feels like 3 years in the future. And it describes every aspect of the company as if it's already come true.
Wow, it does work. I follow it, and it's not there yet, but it's still work in progress. And I appreciate you said that. It's kind of helped me to actually focus more on it and then try to implement it. With respect to your time, I know you're traveling, you have a lot of things going on. I have one last question to close this episode. When it's all said and done, what do you really want to be remembered?
What do I want to be remembered for?
Yes, sir.
I think it's that I really did stay true to my core purpose of helping entrepreneurs make their vision come true. So it was that I really cared about the entrepreneurial journey, whether it was the roller coaster ride that they were going through, or growing their people, or introducing them to partners or suppliers that would help them, that I was always there trying to help remove obstacles to make their entrepreneurial journey a little bit easier. I think that's what I'd like to be remembered for in the business world. And then outside of that, I'd like to be remembered for being a good husband and a good dad. I've got 2 boys that are 23 and 25 and an amazing wife. So I think that would be my core.
I think that's an amazing way to live your life and serve others and support your family. I think that's the main thing. I really appreciate your time today, Cameron. I have a lot of stuff I need to re-listen to this podcast to get more nugget from it. I have a little bit not focused too well on it. But thank you so much. I just want to say thank you, and I wish you best for what you want to do in your journey. And if someone needs to get hold of you, how can they find you?
Best place for them to find me is at CameronHerold.com, and it's my podcast, the COO Alliance, all of my books, everything is at CameronHerold.com.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time, Cameron, and you have a wonderful day and enjoy Europe.
Thanks, Sonny. Appreciate it.